The memory of that precise moment when the room fell into a hushed stillness lingers in my mind. It was not the kind of silence that lingers after a captivating speech or a tender first dance. Absolutely not. It was the kind that strikes with a boldness, challenging you to shed tears in the open. As I stand at my brother Daniel's wedding, I find my voice unwavering, though a gentle tightness lingers in my chest. As his bride graced the stage, she cast a disparaging remark my way, labeling me a pathetic single mom, and the laughter of the entire room echoed around me. Yet, that was not the most distressing aspect. The most disheartening moment was when my own mother, dear mother, leaned toward her champagne glass and spoke just loud enough for the microphone to capture her words. She possesses an allure reminiscent of a model, yet carries the charm of a unique story, marked by the passage of time. And in that moment, their laughter blossomed, filling the air with joy. Each guest, every fork suspended in the air, and every soft chuckle that blossomed into laughter, enveloped me like a delicate scarf woven from threads of embarrassment. I remained there, utterly still. A warm flush enveloped my cheeks, while a soft ringing danced in my ears. My hands quivered gently as I extended them toward my glass of water, yet I found myself unable to raise it without the risk of spilling. I curled my fingers into tight fists, wishing to conceal the tremor that coursed through me, hoping no one would perceive my inner turmoil. My gaze naturally found its way to Daniel, my dear little brother. He sat at the head table, his gaze gently lowered to his lap. His visage remained impassive, yet a subtle tension danced along his jawline. His gaze brushed against mine for a fleeting moment, then drifted away like a whisper in the wind. As if he were unable to endure the sight. The delicate glimmer of remorse in his gaze pierced my heart. In that moment, I was transported back to my childhood, standing behind the garage where the neighborhood girls would softly murmur about my peculiarities and the humble appearance of my clothes. This time, however, it was not the unfamiliar faces that surrounded us. It was my kin, my very own essence. And for what purpose, may I ask? Is it because I am a single mother? Is it because I wasn't adorned in silk and the brilliance of diamonds like Sophie? Sophie, now Daniel's beloved bride. She graced the stage in her pearl-white gown, cradling the mic as if it were a cherished trophy from a victory she had long secured. Her smile, though present, failed to illuminate the depths of her eyes. It never truly did it? For the past year, I observed her navigate each family gathering with a facade, her compliments veiled in a tone that often felt more like barbs. She would commend me for my courage in raising a child alone, as if I were a delicate creature in need of mere acknowledgement for enduring the trials of life. And then there was my beloved mother, Margaret. The woman who once wove my hair into delicate braids before school now regarded me as if I were an expired coupon, once cherished, now deemed without worth. What was it about her words that pierced the heart so profoundly? What is it that keeps my heart entwined in this lingering affection? Was I truly so pitiable? Would being a single mother forever define how they see me? I remained poised, my spine aligned, the edges of my lips curving into a courteous smile that was a struggle to uphold. My son, Leo, nestled beside me, tenderly grasping a napkin in both hands. His deep brown eyes sought my gaze, and I summoned a smile, determined to conceal the tears that threatened to spill from my own. He murmured softly, "Mother, why do they find amusement in your presence?" That question fractured a delicate part of my being. I parted my lips to respond, yet silence enveloped me, leaving my thoughts unspoken. What words might I offer? Isn't it curious how those who are meant to cherish you the most can often be the first to betray your trust? I longed to depart, to take Leo's hand and step into the unknown, leaving everything behind without a single glance back. Yet, just as I was about to lean back in my chair, Leo performed an act that will forever linger in my memory. He rose gracefully, without a moment's pause, embodying a quiet strength that belied his tender 9 years. And then, he began to stroll gracefully toward the stage. I ought to have anticipated that the wedding would present its own challenges for me. Long before Sophie's sharp words, prior to my mother's biting jest, and the ensuing laughter, I had already devoted the entire day to the art of feigning my place among them. Feigning the essence of a person they could admire. It began that morning, as I stood before my mirror, attempting to fasten a dress I had discovered on clearance. It felt a touch constricting, perhaps a shade too formal, yet I sought something that whispered elegance rather than shouting the struggles of a single mother. I gently pulled at the fabric, swaying gracefully from side to side, reassuring myself that it appeared just right. Leo entered just as I was perfecting my makeup. "You resemble a vision from the silver screen," he remarked, his eyes alight with wonder. I smiled softly, despite the doubt lingering in my heart. "Thank you, my love," I whispered, tenderly smoothing his hair down. "You are my most cherished supporter." As I recall the journey to the venue, Leo's gentle hum filled the air from the back seat, his curious voice inquiring if Uncle Daniel felt any nerves. I chuckled softly and replied, "Perhaps. Weddings can evoke a sense of trepidation." I held back the true thoughts that danced in my mind. Family can be more daunting. Once, Daniel and I shared a profound closeness. He is 5 years my junior, and I played a significant role in his upbringing after our father departed. I once assisted him with his studies, shielded him when he ventured out in secret, and clasped his hand tightly during the tempestuous storms. For countless years, it seemed as though we were but two souls entwined, standing resiliently against the vast expanse of the world. Yet everything transformed the moment he encountered Sophie. She exuded grace and sophistication, the sort of woman who enters a room and leaves you feeling as though you must seek forgiveness for merely being there. I endeavored to be gracious when he made the introduction between us. I truly did, yet she conveyed her intentions unmistakably from the very first moment. I did not fit the mold of her preferred companions. During a family dinner, she once remarked, "How truly inspiring it is that you are embarking on this journey all by yourself." In that manner that suggests a subtle superiority, cloaked in the guise of humility. My mother was instantly enchanted by her. I could perceive it in the gentle way she leaned closer when Sophie spoke, how her laughter danced through each tale, even those that seemed mundane. Margaret had never gazed upon me with such a look. In my presence, she remained rigid and critical, as though I were a reflection of the very aspects she wished to conceal within herself. I once believed I was merely being overly sensitive. That wedding revealed a different truth. The venue exuded beauty, adorned with white roses in abundance, as soft violin melodies danced through the air, while candlelight gently flickered upon gold-rimmed glasses. Each person appeared as though they had just emerged from the pages of a glossy magazine. And then, there I was. As I endeavored to keep my dress unwrinkled with each graceful sit, I adjusted the singular pair of heels I possessed, silently hoping that Leo would manage to keep his little shirt and tie free from any spills. He appeared utterly proud, indeed. "Do I appear mature?" he inquired, delicately adjusting his collar. "You appear to be the man of the hour," I remarked to him. And I truly meant it. As the evening unfolded, I smiled, nodded, and engaged in delightful conversation. I chuckled at jokes that failed to amuse me. I maintained my poise, even as I felt the lingering gazes of Sophie's friends upon me. I was merely existing. Until that moment with the microphone arrived, all that I had meticulously woven together, my composure, my pride, my years of pretense, came tumbling down in a cascade of vulnerability. The laughter pierced the air like sharp daggers. In that fleeting moment, I glimpsed a spark in Leo's eyes that transformed everything. Do not fear. Not a state of bewilderment. Yet, a shield of safety. He would not allow them to find amusement at my expense. Not without uttering a word of significance. He rose gracefully and made his way toward the stage. And I simply lingered there, breath held in anticipation. My heart fluttered as I beheld Leo approaching the stage. Initially, I believed he was merely uncertain. Perhaps I should retrieve a napkin, or let myself be drawn by the enchanting melody, or... Oh, how I wish he would simply return to the table, that this fleeting moment would dissolve, allowing me to sink into my chair and feign that I had not just experienced such embarrassment before 100 onlookers. Yet he continued on his path. Gentle. Intentional. Every delicate step echoed softly upon the polished wood floor, resembling a countdown I found impossible to halt. Whispers began to circulate among the crowd. A few gracefully shifted in their seats. Someone softly inquired, "Is that her child?" Every gaze felt like a delicate caress, tracing its way across my skin. I rose partially, extending my hand as if to summon him back, hoping to do so without drawing attention. "Leo, my dear," I whispered, my voice a delicate thread, scarcely discernible. "Return to me, my dear." Yet, he did not cast a single glance behind. Having just descended the 2 steps onto the stage where Sophie had graced moments before. Her bouquet now lay upon the table's edge, a trophy of beauty she had yet to claim. The DJ bent low, attempting to coax him softly. "My dear friend, this is not." Yet, Daniel lifted his hand from his seat and declared, "Allow him to speak." That captivated the hearts of all present. My darling, my precious, endearingly quirky child, now stood before a microphone, both hands clasping the stand as if it were the very anchor of his being. He appeared diminutive, overshadowed by the towering white roses that gracefully stood behind him. Yet, there was an undeniable grace in the way he carried himself, making him appear as if he towered above all, a figure of elegance in my eyes. Silence enveloped the room. Even Margaret set aside her delicate champagne flute. Even Sophie, who had been occupied with a delicate facade of laughter at a whispered jest from one of her bridesmaids, turned slowly, her expression becoming more solemn. And then he uttered his words. "I possess a delightful secret regarding the bride." He spoke. "In an instant, it unfolds. There is no trembling. Speak with grace." My heart raced with such fervor that the stillness of the room seemed to fade into the background. My hands felt cool and damp, my mouth parched, and my pulse beat steadily against my throat, as if yearning to escape. Text: "Oh, how I wished for silence, my heart pleading for no words to escape that might bring me shame. Kindly refrain from uttering words that may lead to regret. Kindly refrain from exacerbating this situation." Yet, there was an enchanting quality in his voice, calm, clear, and honest, that brought the entire room to a standstill. Sophie's smile danced delicately. She leaned forward, her eyebrows delicately arched. "What is it that you speak of, my dear?" she inquired with a gentle charm. Yet, a certain tension lingered in her voice now, a delicate fissure in the porcelain. Leo turned a blind eye to her presence. He cast a fleeting glance in my direction, a moment suspended in time. In that fleeting moment, I glimpsed the depths of his soul reflected in his gaze. His bewilderment, his fierce guardianship, his simmering rage, and an elusive emotion lingering in the air. A gentle yet profound certainty, a deep-seated belief. He cast a glance back at the guests, a moment suspended in time. He recalled her words, spoken softly, just before the wedding. Soft gasps danced through the room, reminiscent of a sudden, chilling breeze. Sophie's expression changed ever so subtly, yet I noticed it. The flicker of panic held me captive, rendering me motionless. It was as if the very ground beneath me had vanished into thin air. As if the entire room were caught in a delicate pause, poised on the brink of unraveling everything that was meant to be. All that occupied my mind was the question, what did he hear? Leo had graced my presence throughout the day. He had yet to find himself in Sophie's enchanting company, just the two of them. Had he truly? And then a memory stirred within me. Earlier that afternoon, I had sent him off to seek the restroom while I delicately fastened Daniel's boutonniere. Just 5 fleeting minutes, and that was all it required. It seems he may have caught a whisper of something intriguing. The silence lingered, delicate and fragile like fine glass. Silence enveloped the room, as if time itself had paused, leaving every heart in a delicate stillness. And Leo was on the verge of revealing a secret that could unravel everything. I felt as though I were submerged beneath the surface, enveloped in a tranquil embrace. Time seemed to linger, each moment stretching into eternity. The symphony of sounds enveloping me, the gentle dance of flickering lights, and the delicate rustle of souls shifting in their seats create an enchanting atmosphere. All I could hear was the gentle thrum of my own heartbeat, echoing in my ears like a drum heralding the approach of something profound, something irrevocable. Leo remained poised at the microphone, delicate hands gently clasping the stand. A delicate crease graced his forehead, a sign of his deep contemplation. As he endeavored to unravel a challenging math conundrum or conquer a difficult level in a video game. Yet this was no mere game. Air eluded me. A part of me longed to dash forward, to draw him close and murmur softly in his ear that this burden was not his to bear, that I was the one who could navigate these troubled waters, that I had weathered storms far more fierce. Perhaps just a whisper, yet I had. Yet, the other side of me, still tender from the echoes of laughter and seared by the sharpness of betrayal, understood that I could not impede him, for Leo had chosen his path, and it was evident in the expression that adorned his face. He stood resolutely for me, for himself, for the bond we share. He gently cleared his throat, and in the stillness of the room, that delicate sound resonated like a whisper of the heart. I was searching for the bathroom, he murmured gently, just before the wedding began. He cast another look in my direction, lingering a moment longer this time. His face, unbidden, conveyed a message that whispered, "You have shown me the beauty of honesty. I am merely following the lessons you imparted to me." A solitary tear glided down my cheek, and I swiftly brushed it away with the delicate edge of my napkin. I found myself uncertain whether it was fear, pride, or perhaps a delicate blend of both that stirred within me. I strolled by the room, he continued, and caught the sound of Sophie conversing with one of her friends. Sophie gracefully adjusted her position in her seat. Her lips parted ever so gently, as if poised to interject, yet she remained silent. Perhaps she found herself unable to do so. Perhaps she sensed the impending tide of emotions. Leo's voice remained steady and unwavering. She expressed that the thought of marrying Uncle Daniel did not truly appeal to her. Soft gasps filled the air as a fork clattered to the ground. A pair of guests sat poised, as if roused from a deep slumber by an unexpected touch. She expressed, Leo continued, that she sought someone steadfast, who would provide her with a home and would not question her late-night outings, believing that Daniel's kindness would prevent him from ever uttering a refusal. The words lingered in the atmosphere, delicate and elusive, much like the wisps of smoke from a fire that had ignited unnoticed. Sophie stood still, her gaze entwined with Leo's, her lips barely parting. "That is not true," she whispered softly. Yet, it appeared that no soul took notice or showed concern. And Leo lingered, causing a delightful flutter in my stomach. A sensation stirred within me, as if it were approaching with a gentle inevitability. Though I couldn't quite grasp its essence, a gentle sensation enveloped me. And she remarked, he continued, that once they were united in marriage, she would ensure that individuals like my mother would never grace our lives again. That was the moment. A profound silence enveloped the room. Neither astonished nor intrigued. A profound silence, reminiscent of sorrow, embarrassment, or undeniable truth. Leo gazed intently at Sophie. Then I turned my gaze back to Daniel. And at last, to the esteemed guests. He added that she remarked on how embarrassing his mother was. Yet, she is not. She possesses a gentle kindness. She possesses a remarkable courage. Her dedication is truly remarkable. And she never speaks ill of anyone. His voice trembled gently at the conclusion, and I sensed my heart constrict with a wave of feeling. I was indifferent to what fate had in store for me next. I was indifferent to those who chose to believe him or those who sought to conceal the truth. At that moment, upon the wedding stage, my son accomplished something that many grown adults would shy away from. He spoke the truth with a gentle sincerity. And unbeknownst to him, he transformed the entire night into something extraordinary. The room was enveloped in a profound silence. It became still. Not a soul stirred. Silence enveloped the room, as if time itself had paused. It felt as though time paused, suspended in a delicate silence, after Leo's words fell like a thunderous echo within the enchanting embrace of that exquisite wedding hall. Sophie's smile had gracefully faded away. Her visage had taken on a delicate pallor. Her lips parted, a delicate expression of disbelief gracing her features. She cast her gaze about the room, seeking something elusive. Perhaps for someone to stand by her side. Perhaps a sanctuary to retreat into. She discovered neither. Daniel rose gracefully. Not in haste. Not in a dramatic fashion. Much like a gentleman striving to find his balance amidst an unforeseen tempest. Leo, he murmured, his voice laced with tension. Would you be so kind as to join me here, dear friend? Leo nodded, exuding a serene composure, and gracefully approached him. Daniel leaned closer, whispering words that danced just beyond my hearing, before enveloping him in a tender embrace. An embrace that lingers, warm and close. And that was the moment it dawned upon me. Daniel felt no anger. He was utterly broken. He straightened himself once more, his gaze wandering through the crowd as if he were lost in a world unfamiliar to him. At last, he directed his gaze towards Sophie. Did you truly utter those words? He inquired, his voice trembling with emotion. Sophie blinked rapidly, attempting to regain her composure and offer a smile, yet it appeared more like a fleeting grimace. Daniel, do join me. He is but a young soul. Will you truly place your trust in the words of a child rather than in the heart of your beloved fiancé? He remained silent. She continued on her path. This is utterly absurd. I was merely indulging in playful banter with my friends. You are aware of the conversations that unfold among women in the moments leading up to a wedding. We share our thoughts. We occasionally utter foolish things. It seems he may have misinterpreted the situation. He is but 9 years old. Her voice soared with each phrase, yet the guests remained unconvinced. A gentle change in the atmosphere enveloped me. Those who had shared laughter with her merely half an hour prior now found themselves murmuring behind lifted hands, exchanging glances, and shaking their heads in quiet disapproval. And then, from the shadows of the room, a voice whispered words that will forever linger in my heart. I too was captivated by her voice. All eyes were drawn. It was Claire, the very essence of grace. A cherished companion from Daniel's past. A soul who had gently faded into the background upon Sophie's arrival. Claire rose gracefully, her hands gently clasped at her sides. I entered the bridal suite to deliver Sophie her exquisite shoes. Though her gaze did not meet mine, her words echoed precisely what Leo had just expressed. Verbatim. The air split apart, revealing a world of possibilities. Sophie's expression contorted, a delicate dance between fury and trepidation. Oh my goodness, is this truly happening to me on the eve of my wedding? Yet, she was the sole voice in the conversation now. Daniel appeared utterly heartbroken. As if the very ground had been swept away, he found himself in a perpetual descent, endlessly seeking to regain his balance. I have asked you countless times, he murmured softly to Sophie. I inquired about your feelings for me, seeking your certainty. And you continued to affirm with a gentle yes. Sophie's expression became tender. As she extended her hand towards him, he gracefully stepped back, creating a delicate distance between them. Daniel, she began, her voice soft and inviting, but he gently shook his head in response. I find myself lost in uncertainty, he murmured. Yet, I am certain that my nephew did not simply conjure that from thin air. It is clear to me that my sister was never worthy of the way we have treated her. His words pierced my heart with the swiftness of a bolt of lightning. Sudden, unforeseen, and dazzling. At long last, amidst the evening's enchantment, a gaze fell upon me. Sophie remained composed, her silence speaking volumes. She lingered there for a moment, lost in thought. She turned gracefully and glided out of the room, her heels tapping rhythmically on the tile, until the sound faded into silence. Once more, silence envelopes us. In that moment, a solitary clap resonated, soon joined by another, creating a gentle ripple of appreciation. In that moment, the whole room erupted in applause. Softly persistent, gracefully unwavering. Genuine. Not for Sophie, not for Daniel, but for dear Leo. For speaking the truth when others remained silent. And I found myself seated, hand delicately covering my mouth, tears softly falling onto my napkin. In a moment that felt both public and deeply humbling, my son restored my voice, as if weaving a delicate thread of connection between us. My recollections of what transpired thereafter are rather hazy. The applause gently dissipated into a soft haze. As the crowd began to rise, soft whispers filled the air, and they meandered toward the bar or their tables, as if uncertain of their next move. The enchanting evening had dissolved, leaving behind a palpable essence of raw and poignant reality that hung in the air. At long last, Daniel made his way over. I stood there, striving to compose myself, gently wiping away the tears that seemed relentless, as I prepared for whatever fate had in store for me. Yet, he remained silent in the beginning. He gently enveloped me in his embrace. A genuine one. Restrained. Lengthy. The kind bestowed upon someone after you have truly glimpsed their essence. "Forgive me," he murmured softly against my shoulder. "Oh, Elena. My sincerest apologies." In that moment, I released my hold. Only for a fleeting moment. With my arms wrapped around him. The years of separation and pain lingered between us, like fragile glass that had at last shattered. In that instant, uncertainty enveloped me, yet one truth remained clear in my heart. At long last, he beheld me. And that was beyond anything I ever imagined I would receive. As the night deepened, Leo and I found ourselves nestled in the car, the nearly deserted parking lot surrounding us, with the venue's soft glow illuminating the scene behind us. I gazed at him in the rearview mirror, his cherubic face serene in slumber, the suit jacket discarded, bow tie relaxed, curls glistening with the remnants of the night's tension. "Are you all right, my love?" I inquired softly. He inclined his head with a gentle, deliberate motion. "Indeed, are you as well?" That question struck me more profoundly than any words exchanged at that wedding. "Indeed, I believe I am," I responded. "I believe I am quite well, indeed." He paused for a moment, then softly declared, "You are not merely a discount model, you are the most wonderful mother in the world." Tears gathered once more, yet this time they brought no sting. They radiated warmth. Restoration. As gentle rain falls after an enduring, oppressive warmth. That evening, I nestled him into bed as I always do, yet I lingered a moment longer than usual. I pressed my lips gently to his forehead, caressed his hair back with tender fingers, and murmured, "I'm so proud of you, Leo. Your courage was truly remarkable." He smiled, a gentle haze of slumber still lingering in his eyes. "You have been my guide." And in that fleeting moment, the world transformed. I once believed that being a single mother diminished my worth. As if my life bore an exquisite mark of distinction. I've returned. Imperfect. Not entirely sufficient. Yet, my son did not perceive me in that light. As he rose before a gathering of adults to speak on my behalf, he rekindled a memory I had long overlooked. I possess strength within me. I am whole, unshattered by the trials of life. I am but a mere mortal. And I have endured far more than many. Daniel ultimately decided to delay the honeymoon, expressing a desire for time to reflect. A few days later, we engaged in a heartfelt conversation, truly connecting. And I could sense a delicate bond blossoming anew between us. Gently. Softly. Not entirely so. Yet, to speak truthfully, my dearest Margaret never offered an apology. A week later, she sent a message that felt rather distant. "I trust you can appreciate how circumstances spiraled beyond our control. I trust this message finds you in good spirits." I chose not to respond. And for the first time in my life, I found myself free from the need for her approval. For the reason that I had Leo by my side. And I possessed my own essence. It is often said that weddings unite families in a beautiful embrace. Is this the one? It gently removed the mask. I hold a deep sense of gratitude for that. That night, I found myself untouched by loss. I found a newfound clarity. I have discovered a profound truth. And I discovered a sense of pride that no designer gown or refined appearance could ever bestow. It appears that I was not the one burdened with the scratched label after all. I was the one who preserved her integrity, while others surrendered theirs for mere trifles. And the individual who brought that to my attention? A young lad of 9, adorned in a clip-on tie. Cradling my hand gently. Indeed, my dear. That is the tale of how my courageous and lovely 9-year-old son rose at a wedding, transforming the moment with merely a handful of words and an abundance of heart. If this tale has touched your heart, evoked emotions within you, or brought to mind your own resilience, kindly show your appreciation by liking the video. It truly assists a greater number of individuals in discovering it. Should you find yourself compelled to champion what is just, even amidst trembling words, consider sharing this tale with a soul who longs to listen. And if you desire to indulge in more genuine, heartfelt tales such as this, do remember to subscribe to the channel and gently tap that little bell, ensuring you never miss a new video. Thank you for joining me in this delightful experience. Thank you for your attentive ear. I look forward to our next encounter.